Hi, welcome back, Geometry and Geometry Honors students. In this week, we're going to use the equations we reviewed the past 2 weeks on how to work with the length, perimeter, and area of basic shapes. The shapes we're going to cover today includes rectangles, squares, triangles, trapezoids, and circles. The rectangle, square, these are pretty simple. Okay, we did these ones since probably 3rd grade. So length and width. Area just gonna be length times width, right? That's for the area. Perimeters add these 4 sides up. So length plus width plus length plus width. I'm not gonna spend much time covering the perimeter because that's just really simple. Okay, you add the sides up, you get the perimeter. That's for rectangle area. For square area, the square is a special rectangle. The 4 sides are the same. If you use S for the side, okay, S for the side, area is gonna be length times width. So S times S, which is S squared. The perimeter is adding these 4 sides up. So S plus S plus S plus S, the same as S times 4, so 4S. Triangle area. Okay, some students might say, oh, it's base times height. It's not base times height, it's base times height divided by 2. So this is the base, and this is the height. So don't forget to divide it by 2 when you find the area of a triangle. Trapezoid. Trapezoid is a shape a lot of you guys might not be too familiar with, especially the formula of finding the area of the trapezoid. The trapezoid are different shapes of trapezoid. Okay, if you have something look like that, you can just break it into a rectangle and a triangle. You find each area and add them up. If you have trapezoid that are not so easy to break up, and we do have a formula for the ones you're not able to break into triangles and rectangles, it doesn't give you enough information to do that. So if you have so I'll give you the formula for the trapezoid here. The trapezoid top base, we call this is base 1. The bottom base is this one. It's called base 2. So B1 means base 1. B2 means base 2 at the bottom base. And then this is the height. Okay, with the 3 numbers given, you can actually find area for a trapezoid. Okay, trapezoid and a triangle, you can relate these two together. Triangle is base times height divided by 2. Trapezoid has 2 bases, so you can add the 2 bases. So base 1 plus base 2, and then times height divided by 2. Okay, if you know how to find area of a triangle, trapezoid is just like a triangle, except it has 2 bases. We're going to add them together first, then times height, then divided by 2. Okay, it's good to know this formula. It gives your answer much quicker than you dividing into different shapes. Circle. Okay, circle from the center to the edge of the circle is called radius. The diameter is the whole thing across. It's called diameter. Half the diameter is a radius. For the circumference is pi times the diameter. The diameter is whole way across. Okay, half of them is a radius. So since the diameter is the same as 2 radius, so there's another formula for the circumference is 2 times pi times r. So both of these give you the way to find the circumference of a circle. So C means circumference, either equal to pi times diameter or 2 times pi times radius. That's the circumference. Area of a circle is pi times radius squared. So pi times r squared. So we review the formulas for the area of each of these shape, and some we have perimeter and the circumference involved. We're gonna go and use these ones to find the answer, to solve some problems. Okay, for example, the first one, we're talking about a shape. This shape is a rectangle, so you're gonna draw a rectangle. What about this rectangle? This rectangle has an area of 24 inches squared. So the area is 24 inches squared. The length is 6 inches. What is the perimeter? Okay, what is the perimeter? This is not a one-step thing here. Before we can find the perimeter, we have the area. We need to find the width, right? So the length times width is the rectangle. So if you 6 times which number? Length times width is equal to the area 24. So the width will be 24 divided by 6 would be 4 inches. Okay, so the width is 4 inches. 6 times 4 is 24. And then we're looking for the perimeter. Perimeter is adding all the 4 sides up. So 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. I can do 6. There are 2 6, which is 12, 2 4s, which is 8. So 12 plus 8, which is 20, or you can do 6 and 4 is a 10. This is a 10 here. So either way, the answer is 20 inches. So the perimeter is 20 inches. Next one. Whoops, went the wrong way. Next one is also a rectangle. This rectangle give you the perimeter. The perimeter is 38 centimeters. The width is 7. Okay, 7 centimeters. What is the area? Okay, so the perimeter is 38. So it means all the 4 sides add up is 38. So if the width is 7 here, this will also be 7. So let's go ahead and find the length. What's the length? Okay, so length plus 7 plus 7 is equal to 38. Okay, so 2 length plus 14 is equal to 38. So you subtract 14. So you do 38 minus 14 is 24. Then you divide it by 2. So the length is 12 inches. So this is 12 inches. 12 inches. You can go back and check your answers, okay? 12 plus 12 is 24. 7 plus 7 is 14. 24 plus 14 is 38. So your answer is right. Okay, so the length is 12. Sorry, this is centimeters. Okay, length is 12 centimeters and width is 7 centimeters. So the area will be length times width. 12 times 7, which is 84. 84 centimeters squared. Okay, square. Find area of a square whose perimeter is 12 inches. So perimeter is 12 inches. That's the P. Okay, do we know each side? You gotta go find the side first before you can find the area. So each side, okay, there are 4 sides. So 4 of these sides together is 12, right? So each one is 12 divided by 4, which is 3 inches. So each side is 3 inches. So this is 3 inches, and this is 3 inches. All of them are 3 inches. So the area will be length times width. So 3 times 3 or 3 squared. The answer is 9 inches squared. Make sure you use the correct unit. If you have a perimeter, it's going to be inches. If it's area, it's going to be inches squared. This one's backwards. If I give you the area of the square, can you find the perimeter? Okay, this square has an area of 36 inches square. What's the perimeter? Okay, so some of you guys are gonna say, okay, I'm gonna do 36 divided by 4 is 9. So each one is 9. Is that right? That is not right, right? So how do you find area of a square? You do the length times width or base times height. So S times S is 36. So which number? S times S is 36. So S squared is 36. Right? So which number squared is 36? You have to do the square root to find S. So square root of 36, 36 is a perfect square. So 6, right? 6 squared is 36. So that means each side is actually 6 inches. Okay, you do not divide it by 4. Okay, the area is not, if it's perimeter divided by 4, find the length. But this is the area, you gotta do square root. So each side is 6 inches. Now you can find the perimeter, right? 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is 6 times 4. The answer is 24 inches. Okay, let's go ahead and do a triangle one. Triangle area, this one just like strictly plug into the formula. We're just trying to find the area of this one. We don't have any other things they're doing, okay? Find area of this triangle. Area of triangle is base times height divided by 2. Okay, do not forget divided by 2. The base is 8, the height is 4.5, then divided by 2. 8 times 4.5 is 36, and then divided by 2, which is 18. Okay, which is 18. So 18 miles squared. Okay, easier way is if you want to do 8 divided by 2 first. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and then 4 times 4.5 is also 18. Okay, that might be easier for you to do. Okay, you can do 8 divided by 2, you get 4. 4 times 4.5 is 18. So either way, the answer is 18 miles squared. This one we don't have numbers or variables here. We're finding the perimeter, we're finding the area. So you just go with like your answer is not going to be a number, okay? Because we have x's here. The perimeter is adding the sides up. So there are 3 sides. So it'll be 6 plus x plus 4 and then plus 5x. Add these 3 sides up. That's the perimeter. Sorry, my phone will be dinging like crazy. So 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides. So what do you do with these ones? Like, what's my answer? Your answer is whatever you get after you combining like terms. Okay, so x plus 5x is 6x, and 6 plus 4 is 10. So the answer is 6x plus 10 units, okay? Just units. That's the perimeter. Area is base times height divided by 2. The base is 6. The height is x plus 4, and then divided by 2. Okay, this is hypotenuse. We do not need this one at all. This is the base. This is the height. So what do I get if I do this one? So you can actually do the 6 divided by 2. Okay, this is the multiplying. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So just gonna be 3 parentheses x plus 4. 3 times the quantity of x plus 4. Then you distribute. You get 3x plus 12. Okay, so 3x plus 12 units squared. This is the area. That one's the perimeter. We're gonna go ahead and we might come back to this one if we have time. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one here. Trapezoid. Okay, area of trapezoid. Area of trapezoid, if you remember what it is, okay, recall the triangle one. Base times height divided by 2, but trapezoid has 2 bases. So you can add the 2 bases first. Base 1 plus base 2, and then times height divided by 2. Okay, base 1 is, this is my base 1, B1, this is the B2. So 6 plus 8 times the height is 9, then divided by 2. 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 times 9 divided by 2. Easier way is you can do 14 divided by 2, which is 7. 7 times 9, 63. 63 yards squared. Same thing for this one. Area is base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. Base 1 is 10. Base 2 is 16. The height is 5. Then divided by 2. 10 plus 16 is 26. So 26 times 5 divided by 2. You can do 26 divided by 2, which is 13. Then 13 times 5 is 65. Okay, 65 inches squared. This is when you know the formula, it makes it a lot easier to use. If you don't know the formula, you can actually break this one into a rectangle and a triangle. Find the area of the rectangle, find the area of the triangle, and add them up. Now this one, you just have to use the formula. We don't know the base of each triangle if you break it. This one is easier to use the formula. Okay, this one's finding the missing height of the trapezoid. They give you the B1 is 3. That's the top base is 3, bottom base is 5. So B1 is 3, B2 is 5. H is unknown. The area is 22. So just gotta start with the formula. Okay, area is B1 plus B2 times H divided by 2. Okay, I'm gonna plug in numbers into this formula. Is A given? Yes, A is 22. Is B1 given? Yes, B1 is 3. Is B2 given? B2 is 5. I don't know the H. So now this formula changes into this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to solve this. This one involves a fraction. Fraction means division, okay? What's the inverse operation of division? Multiplication times 2 times 2. 2 times 22 is 44. 44 is equal to 3 plus 5 times H. Okay, 3 plus 5 is 8. So 44 is equal to 8 times H. To get h, I'm going to divide it by 8, divided by 8. H equals to 44 divided by 8. Simplify this fraction, divide each number by 4. 44 divided by 4 is 11, 8 divided by 4 is 2, 11 over 2, which is 5.5. So the height is 5.5 inches, or 11 over 2 inches. So if you're actually looking for like a specific thing, we do want it to convert into a decimal. Use 5.5 instead. Okay, next we're doing circles. We're gonna start out with just finding the circumference of a circle. So circumference of a circle is pi times the diameter, right? Or pi times 2 radius, 2 pi r, or pi times d. Pi times the diameter is 6. The answer is 6 pi inches. If you want to convert this into a decimal, okay, so 6 times pi is 18.8495. We're going to go with 18.85 inches, just inches. This is the circumference, it's just inches. That's the circumference one area. Okay, so this one, find the area of a circle whose circumference is given. So they give you the circumference. We're trying to find the area, okay? So this one using 2. If we're going to go back and recall the two formulas, C and A. Circumference is 2 times pi times radius. Area is pi times radius squared. If you look at these two formulas, they both have the r in there. They both have the radius in there. So that's the thing we actually that's already like the bridging between the circumference and the area. If you know the radius, you can do the circumference or the area. So the first step for us to do is to solve for the radius. Since circumference is given, so I'm gonna start out with this one because circumference is given. So circumference is 16 pi. So this one is 16 pi is before we multiply the pi, multiply 3.1415926, use that as pi, we're just gonna leave as 16 pi. So this is totally okay, unless they say giving answer in decimal form. Otherwise, you can leave the answer you leave the pi there. So circumference 16 pi. I'm gonna use 16 pi as the circumference. So 16 pi is equal to 2 times pi times radius, right? I can divide both sides by pi, so the pi will actually cancel out. Okay, there's no pi left. It's just 16 is equal to 2 times r, so divided by 2. R is equal to 8. So this radius is 8. Okay, 8 inches or whatever, or centimeters is gonna be 8 unit. Once you know the radius, we need to go back find the area. Area will be pi times radius squared. Pi times radius. Radius is 8 squared. Okay, you only square the 8. We're not squaring the pi, right? So exponents comes before multiplication. You only square the 8. You get 64. So pi times 64, which is just 64 pi unit squared. So this is my final answer. Do I need to change this into a decimal? Do I need to do 64 times 3.14? No, you don't. Okay, they gave you the circumferences in terms of pi. You can leave your answer for the area in terms of pi. Last one. Backwards, the area is given. Area is 289 pi. We are looking for the circumference. So you're going to start out using the area formula because that's the one that is given. So the area formula is pi r squared, right? This is a circle. Pi times radius squared. Area is 289 pi is equal to pi times radius squared. Okay, 289 pi means 289 times pi. Pi r squared means pi times radius squared. So you divide it by pi, divided by pi, so the pi and pi cancel out. You have 289 is equal to r squared. Okay, if you have r squared, how do you find r? Do you divide it by 2? No, you don't, right? This is r squared, not 2 times r. To find r, we need to do square root. Okay, square root 289, you should get 17 as your answer to the radius. The radius is 17 unit. Okay, now we found the radius. We need to go back and finish finding the circumference. Circumference is 2 times pi times radius, or pi times diameter. So 2 times pi times the radius, which is 17. Okay, I'm going to leave the pi by itself. 2 times 17 is 34. So my answer is 34 pi unit. Okay, units. So this was not squared because this is the circumference. Okay, so these are the shapes we went over today. So remember how to use the area formulas to solve either for the side or find the perimeter or the other way around. Okay, we'll see you guys in class.